GSC is now running a rogue. They swapped out their mage for that rogue. So this is going to be a completely different game potentially.
You also see they're running a warlock.
Yep, that is a Destro Warlock. So they are running a comp that is very similar to ours, with the exception of that Mistweaver Monk. And Beantown Bullies, I don't think, made any comp adjustments as far as I see right now.
And this is smart of GSC to do, to swap out some of their players. They may be getting late over in Europe. There are a lot of European players on that team. Not only that, but they get to try different things. And being up 1-0, I know it sounds cocky, but after the game they just had, they probably feel very confident with switching things up and trying a different strat, because they are in losers, and if they need to swap to it, say they do get 2-0'd or 3-0'd by a team, they might need to change something. So they may look to run this comp again.
Mm-hmm. And actually, I think it is like the afternoon right now in Europe. I'm not entirely sure. So I don't think it's late. It just might be early. Someone might have had to go to work or something. Who knows?
Yeah, I'm thinking of the opposite here.
It's all good. But yeah, this rogue is definitely going to change things up for GSC. It's definitely going to be harder for Spordrude to get across and out of the base. And you know what he was doing before, where he was stealthing, it wasn't needed then, but it's definitely needed now with that rogue. If the rogue's positioning is an uncertainty, if no one knows where the rogue is, it is the best play for Spordrude just to remain in stealth.
Yeah.
And yeah, it does appear to be the same exact team for Beantown Bullies, or comp, I'm sorry. Their Warlock is running Affliction, and he's going to be playing against a Destro Warlock and a Rogue. So we have a different setup for GSC and the exact same setup for Beantown Bullies. So let's see in this game if Beantown Bullies is able to contest mid and get the flag across the map, because that seems to be the issue, or that has been the issue up until this point.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. Beantown may look to run to that side again, which they normally do.
And
so it looks
right now
like,
is actually getting saps onto the team of Beantown Bullies. Beantown needs to get in combat, and Save right now is going to be looking to open on target. He's just sapping every member of this Beantown Bullies team, and actually
they just focus that Warlock again.
It's going to go down, so a bit of a mistake from Beantown Bullies, not getting in combat with that Hunter.
Your boy Steve is getting pressured. He has to pull back quite far. He gets the sack, the roar sack from the Hunter. He does charge back in, and he's still just eating a ton of damage.
Yeah, and right now Save is pulling back, and he is going to be looking, I think, to play some defense. It doesn't look like he's going to be going back into this team fight. Trillium, though, has opened up on mid, and he is going to die. And Cyberbully actually dying immediately following that. So right now, GSC seems to be building momentum. I think they're going to wipe Beantown Bullies quite quickly now that they have the healer down, and he's going to be sitting in that graveyard.
Quo does pick up the flag, and he's going down tunnel, and this is just from communication from his team that, hey, we're winning mid, we've got tunnel, you can come out, you're fine.
Yeah, and Trillium isn't there to contest him. Instead, Trillium is going to try to escort Spordrude, who's in the enemy team's base, and Save is staying in the base. He's standing really close to that flag. So I think Trillium is going to try to meet up with Spordrude, but let's see if they can get a pick in time, because Status Quo is going to be crossing. I think they're going to be able to get a pick, but Status Quo, or I'm sorry, my bad. So Status Quo is just staying back behind his team. He isn't going to be crossing, but I want to go back to Trillium and see what's happening on that side of the field.
It looks like Trillium does open on the Hunter in the flag room, and he's going to get open on by Save and killed before his Druid is able to pick up.
I think Trillium got caught out. I'm not too sure, but right now Spordrude's definitely not in a good position, and he's going to be attacked by that Hunter from GSC, and it's going to be very difficult for him to get out of the base. I think Save is just staying at the bottom of the flag room, waiting for Spordrude to commit and pick up the flag, and I think Spordrude is going to go down here with Save getting
there's the silence, no displacer. He does get a displacer and an AGM. The Hunter is chasing. He just needs to be constantly shifting and healing.
Yeah,
and he's going to die now with this brute spam. They're going to catch back up.
Static Quo is going in catch form, doing some damage, and that's going to be the return from GSC. So once again, I think Beantown Bullies was, they're fortunately for them, they are able to get out of their graveyard this game, but it doesn't really matter because they weren't able to get much going defensively, and they weren't even able to pick up the flag. So I think they need to change a few things here and kind of work better with, or work on that ghosting rogue strategy, because they definitely need to be ghosting and pulling the rogue out of the team fight right now.
One of the things we're seeing is the spread damage from GSC, and they are just putting pressure everywhere, all over Beantown, and constantly multiple targets are falling below half health.
And right now, Sporgerd is going to be going into, or he's going to be trying to cross the field right now. And Trillium was getting some saps onto Static Quo, and he is remaining in front of him. He's trying to get those restaps right now, but Static Quo is on DR. So right now, Trillium is trying to prevent Static Quo from crossing the field. And if he can't get the sap in just a second, oh, there we go. There's the full resap. He just came off DR. Unfortunately, Trillium's not going to be able to get much going by himself. And I think Static Quo is going to meet up with his team. And yep, he is going to get met by that Boomkin.
And he's just going to let him run into the base and sap the Boomkin. He should be moving into a position to, once he does pick, to try and do some damage. And I think, again, Beantown needs to send more people to contest the running of the flags. They are losing mid. Fighting in mid isn't really helping you much.
And right now, Sporgerd's in a difficult position because the Hunter and the Rogue from GSC are on defense, and Trillium is fighting in mid, so they need to be doing some sort of ghosting strategy or escorting.
We do see the Disc Priest go down, and the Shaman is taking loads of pressure, and he dies. So it looks like Beantown may be able to push out of their base with this.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And right now, on the Horde side of the field, Save and that Hunter are contesting the repick from Sporgerd, and Sporgerd, if his team can get across the map, he should be able to meet them somewhere, and he is going to pick up the flag, I believe, in a second. And he needs to pick up the flag because the Rogue is going to sap him. The Rogue is going to sap him. He saps his trinket, and the Hunter and the Rogue are going to connect, and he just needs to get down tunnel right now and meet up with his team.
He does get the Displacer off, but he may die before he gets out. And there's another silence. We'll see what he has. Cyberbully is coming. Oh, he may get saved here, and he does.
Oh, yeah, Beantown Bullies met their FC in the nick of time right there. But right now, they need to continue contesting mid because Sporgerd, this is the first time that he's actually gotten the flag out of their base. GSC has been doing an excellent job.
If Static Quo makes it out of theirs, they may look to just back up and try and kill him as soon as they can, which is probably the best option because it's hard for them to hold mid against this team.
Yeah, Static Quo did just drop from top of tunnel, and he is kind of dancing around the Alliance base right now. And I think he is going to be able to cross mid. There isn't anyone there to contest him. I think he's going to be easily able to get past the enemy team and into safety behind GSC.
Mm-hmm. And we'll see if they make a mistake of overextending again and not respecting Beantown. I think that's what happened there. They just weren't expecting their priest to get blown up.
And Static Quo is doing some fancy footworks to get on top of those logs.
And they try and kill him again, but he's just cutting their front line back so far that they're going to overextend and probably drop. Their entire team has to push in to follow, and they're all sitting at half health right now.
Yeah, look at this damage that GSC is pumping out onto Beantown Bullies. Multiple members of BTB at 50% HP or less, so that's not a good position to be in. And Sporgerd, I think he does appear to be safe right now. I'm going to go see where Save is. And Save is just kind of just following Sporgerd while his team is dead. And they might be making an offensive push, and that's going to be led by that rogue of GSC.
Yeah, if he does get a sap off, he look for his team to push up tunnel and try and get an open on him. But he's seen him get boots. He must be calling to his team. He's going graveyard. So most of his team should be looking to push up ramp if they're going to try and return here. Or they may just try and keep their foothold mid, and that looks like to be what they're doing. They're going to let their stealthies try and return.
Yeah, so this is the right play from Sporgerd going back behind his team. But look at this, Save and the Boomkin with Berserking are right there, and there are 4 stacks right now. This is potentially enough damage to score a kill, and they are going to get the sap. And
there's the sap. He's going to open, and he needs to silence with the ambush. He does make it back into his team, but that was a well-coordinated opener with the sap for the surge, and then the stalling taptors you can't displace. The Boomkin just needs to get a points and try and
Fortunately,
5-point.
I do believe the rogue is going to go. The rogue went down, and the boomkin might go down. Very risky play jumping off that base, but he was able to shift into cat to avoid taking full fall damage. And the boomkin is going to be able to get healed up right now. And what Beantown Bullies really needs to do in this remaining 6 minutes of the game is try to get something going offensively, and that's going to be
It looks like Trillium and Love QT are going to try and open, but their entire team, they smelt it coming and they all came back.
And I'm getting asked right now if this jump right now is allowed by static quo. I don't want to reveal exactly my biases against jumps, but Trillium's having a hard time getting up there, and hopefully there's no rules being broken right now. And we're going to have to see about that after this game. But Trillium's
this is definitely a benefit standing on top of this log if this is allowed. Now, there was a video showing specific jumps that were and were not allowed, just due to limits of classes being able to do it. And I believe this was not on there, but I could be wrong.
And I'm actually going to take a screenshot right now of this FC, just in case we need to do some lawyering. He is going to get off that log, but that's not going to save, I have the evidence in my hands now, just in case. So we'll see how this game plays out now that he's dropped down there. And he's getting opened by the Boomkin and the Rogue, but I don't think he's going to
They could have opened on him earlier if he wasn't up there, and I think that changed the game. If it is allowed, then it's a good place to sit, definitely. If it's not allowed, then it's also a good place to sit, but it's not legal.
Yep, and I have the screenshot saved, and we'll be reviewing
Orju is getting opened on, but looks like they are going to kill the Rogue.
All right, yeah, so we'll be reviewing the video after this game. I told that to BTB. And you know what? It might be a ban jump because I'm getting told by Dark X that the Rogue was struggling to do that jump, and he thinks he's attributing it to the fact that Static Quo was able to be in travel form during that jump, so he is moving 60% faster, and having that additional movement speed might have been the edge needed to get that jump perfectly. So we will review after game.
Yeah, and I have a feeling Beantown is probably not too happy with something like that. They may still try and open on Sport or Static Quo here, but it's going to be in vain. Oh, Love Cutie coming in, he may get the 5-point, but it's not going to be enough if he does.
Yeah, and I don't know what Beantown Bullies is doing. Sipe is just not moving right now. He's going to get sapped, and Sportjerd might get opened up by this Boomkin Rogue, and he is going to get open. Sipe forced to trinket that sap, and Sportjerd trying to
juke. There's no damage to push him off. They're going to be able to get the kill and cap with the flag. Oh, he's going to roof. He's not going to cap. Okay, now he's going to cap.
Now he's going to cap. But once again, for everyone in chat and for both of these teams, we will be reviewing that jump after this game because that potentially could have, I think, without say, that affected the outcome of this game, just because Beantown Bullies was starting to get things going offensively, and Trillium was in position to open up on Static Quo. So we'll.
And it looks like Beantown is leaving.